We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded.
If you see something suspicious, says the Department of Homeland Security, say something about it to the police, call it into a government hotline, or report it using a convenient app on your smartphone. If you're a whistleblower wanting to snitch on government wrongdoing, however, forget about it. The government doesn't take kindly to having its dirty deeds publicized and, God forbid, being made to account for them. For more than a decade now, the DHS has plastered its See Something Say Something campaign on the walls of metro stations, on billboards, on coffee cup sleeves, at the Super Bowl, even on television monitors in the Statue of Liberty. Now colleges, universities, and even football teams and sporting arenas are lining up for grants to participate in the program. This DHS slogan is nothing more than the government's way of indoctrinating we the people into the mindset that we're an extension of the government and, as such, have a patriotic duty to be suspicious of, spy on, and turn in our fellow citizens. This is what is commonly referred to as community policing. Yet while community policing and federal programs such as See Something Say Something are sold to the public as patriotic attempts to be on guard against those who would harm us, they are little more than totalitarian tactics dressed up and repackaged for a more modern audience as well-intentioned appeals to law and order and security. The police state could not ask for a better citizenry than one that carries out its own policing. After all, the police can't be everywhere. So how do you police a nation when your population outnumbers your army of soldiers? How do you carry out surveillance on a nation when there aren't enough cameras, let alone viewers, to monitor every square inch of the country 24/7? How do you not only track but analyze the transactions, interactions, and movements of every person within the United States? The answer is simpler than it seems. You persuade the citizenry to be your eyes and ears. You hype them up on color-coded terror alerts, keep them in the dark about the distinctions between actual threats and staged training drills so that all crises seem real, desensitize them to the sight of militarized police walking their streets, acclimatize them to being surveilled for their own good, and then indoctrinate them into thinking that they are the only ones who can save the nation from another 9/11. As historian Robert Gelately points out, a Nazi order requires at least some willing collaborators to succeed. In other words, this is how you turn a people into extensions of the omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent police state, and in the process turn a citizenry against each other. It's a brilliant ploy, with the added bonus that while the citizenry remains focused on and distrustful of each other and shadowy forces from outside the country, they're incapable of focusing on more definable threats that fall closer to home. Namely, the government and its cabal of constitution-destroying agencies and corporate partners.